Okay, less dots.
Anyways, Tanner sent you a message. Side note,
Alright, let me check this.
it's an irrelevant message.
Oh, cool. Go ahead and roll a D100 and I'll look it up.
Let me get on roll 20. I just realized I had my ging, but not roll 20 out.
Kevin's the only person on roll 20. He's the only one ready.
Yeah, I was also
I'm not
on before
technically
Tanner
in this
was.
section.
So, yeah. I've been ready.
I'm sorry for
I
not
just have
being
it
ready,
favorited,
but I'm
so I
also
instantly
not
jump
here
into
right
it, so
now.
it's not hard.
I'm not worried about Margaret. When I tell
Yeah.
you, hey, you're gonna be here, you'll get on.
That number.
I mean, I'll be here anyways.
89? Okay, give
Here
me
I
a second.
go.
There we go. Put that up there. I want to share.
Go ahead and re-roll because it's too high level for you.
Ha.
Pretty much anything over 80 right now is too high level.
Just put me at the max of whatever the fuck it is. It is clearly now a 79, Tanner.
My issue of doing that is it means that the one that's really high is just gonna like be the one that you get all the time.
There we
Fine.
37. There we go.
Rip, middle of the pack item.
So as you come in onto Vinkara, the city is struck by a rampant and unpredictable cold wave.
go. Okay.
The temperatures plummet, leaving the area freezing cold. Every hour, unprotected creatures must make a fortitude save, DC 10 plus 1 per previous attempted save, or take 1d4 non-lethal damage. Creatures without natural protection that are wearing light or no clothing take a -4 to this save.
Ah, love me.
The Vera.
I'm silver.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you have cold resist. You're fine.
You wouldn't be fine if you weren't, though.
Alright, so I am a fox with also fire.
Beat yourself up, fam.
A firefox, if you will.
Yeah, a firefox, if you will.
Well,
lost me.
again, this is only if you are unprotected. So if you're wearing heavy like winter clothing,
I'm not necessarily
You're
wearing winter clothing, but I also do have a leather trench coat. So.
Also, if you're inside, you know.
But yeah, like
It feels pretty nice.
If you're having protected sex, does it count?
I mean,
No.
you would be protected.
I love it. We leave in burning heat and it's freezing. This planet's weird.
and you would dock, and the captain would work on getting everything docked, getting resupplied. I mean, you guys are resupplied at the Goblin Planet, but at the same time, it's been a week and a few days at that point. So yeah, you would land on Vinkara's planet and city of guilds, and you are in its capital. As I explained before, the very beginning of this campaign. Welcome home.
Hooray!
So
Woo!
the question is, what do all of you want to do? We know Alvold is missing. Feritis is on his way to go meet with Basias, and he's gathering his things together. He wants to make sure he's 100% prepared for this before he goes. So he is out of the picture right now.
Tanner, please. Alvold is dead. And he's not
Yeah,
going to get
probably.
better until a day later. In fact, he might be better right now. You don't know. I don't know how many days it is to go.
At
from
this
Alvold
point,
to
he'd
here.
be better because we were still in transit when you would have left.
Alvold is better, but missing.
So that leaves Vera, Mako, and Eric to kind of have a day to themselves before anything needs to matter. Take care of your stuff.
Originally, I was going to bring the orc over to my guild leader, but I was supposed to get an item from Fruitus, who is
What
not
was he
here.
making you?
He was making me an item of disguise to help me cover her up and transport.
He did mention that he was in the process of making that. So you're gonna have it. I just don't know exactly what bonus it would have.
I don't either. That's the
Was it
problem.
an item of disguise self or a flat bonus?
I don't know.
Can you access Pat's thing?
I can, but I don't know if he writes that stuff
Well,
down.
you can see.
Yeah,
Better than nothing.
yeah, no, it's a good idea. Pat writes. Pat writes his skills weird. So instead of writing his skill and then how many ranks he has next to it, he writes like he has like a divider that's like 7 ranks and then lists all the skills he has 7 ranks in.
Weird.
And then 6 ranks and goes down.
Yeah, that
Weird.
is kind of odd. Are we sure Pat
I
is
get it.
human?
I understand the logic behind
Trick
it.
question.
Skills are kind of annoying only because they're not how many there is.
I can kind of get it from a GM standpoint, and he GMs a lot because he is like, okay, what skills are there good skills for this NPC, and he writes those down. And he doesn't really put a lot of work into the skills on his random NPCs he makes.
But
And
from
I
a
guess,
player standpoint, when the GM says roll X,
yeah,
I'd like to know where X is and what it is afterwards, rather than the other way around.
creating item. No, he doesn't have it. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to say it's effectively a hat of disguise, which is +10 to disguise, but can be dispelled. So
All right, that works, I guess. And I would go out and probably get her like a long cloak thing to cover her body as well.
I mean, the disguise item would help with that, but
I know.
Okay. So yeah,
She also needs to cover up. I mean, Jess's dislikes include people's knees. Just saying, if you're going outside, cover it
I
up.
really don't like knees.
Knees.
Knees are weird, especially
Um,
backwards.
so specifically, you're getting her a cloak. What color?
I don't know.
It
Black?
matters. Black. Okay, so she's gonna be walking around in a black cloak and a golden cult mask. That's cool.
That's amazing.
I mean,
the
it looks a
disguise-
lot like her picture.
I imagine that the disguise would help cover up the mask area because that's going to be weird to begin with.
The disguise itself makes you look like a different person. Your gear's still the same.
Unless you can convince her to take it off.
By
I
the
don't know,
way,
white
she pretty
then?
much
like
I
white
mean-
would go with it better.
okay. So white robe. Got it.
White robe, gold mask. I mean, that's fairly religious in context, but that's a good choice.
White and gold.
They complement.
That's how you know she's not a black mage anymore. She's a white mage.
That's,
She doesn't look evil at all this way. This is good.
So yeah. So in that case, I assume while Vera is taking care of that, picking up the robes and everything like that, Eric is going to be the one that is actually we're going to focus on first.
Woo.
So what do you do?
Well, first things first.
what doesn't he do?
I would need to go report to my guild.
All right. So you would travel through your guild or to your guild. It's pretty far into the city.
Yeah.
It's not very close to the ports or anything like that. It takes you a little while to get there on foot, anyways, unless you wanted to hire like a cab.
No, I haven't got paid yet. Fuck that.
Yeah, I mean you have gold enough for a cab.
Yeah, but still. I mean, I just spent money on sweets. I don't. No, I'll hoof it.
He just spent all of his money on sweets and will spend more of it on sweets soon.
Yeah.
But you do eventually make it back to the eyes. And the building is it's a fairly tall building. Offices kind of sport, you can see windows with different offices on the inside. But the archway to the entrance of the door have like the eye symbol above it to denote it with the guild symbol.
Definitely
As
not
well as a
Illuminati.
sign.
Not Illuminati.
Oh my god, Kevin is Illuminati.
And you
Confirmed.
walk in, and the place is kind of as busy as always. There's a lot of papers and stuff being thrown around the bottom floors. But again, most of the people there work there. Almost kind of like if you walk into like a printing press or like a newspaper type room.
Right.
They're always looking for leads. They're always like looking for other people that may be willing to hire them. Things like that.
Probably plenty of cork boards with strings all over.
Yeah, and you know there's only going to be more of that in the offices, but the first floor is kind of a common area where a lot of people can shoot ideas back and forth, and they're very proactive in looking for clients.
Right.
The woman at the desk, and let me see what she is. I don't remember what I described her as before. Do you?
I don't believe we did.
All right, so she's getting a new race.
Woo! If not, it's a new person.
Yeah,
First day in, she is new.
Like,
Roll some D, whatevers.
yeah, roll some D's.
yeah, we're gonna say it's Ooze. Um,
Ooze
she's gonna be
lady?
an Altian. Yeah, she's an Ooze lady. Dressed somewhat secretary-like, which is a little weird for it being Ooze, but she's trying to fit in with the style of the guild.
Secretary or sexy secretary?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sexy secretary, because it's only Ooze people can't wear many clothing or much clothing. It's too
It
heavy
kind of
for them.
sinks into them a little.
It's skimpy,
Sex
but
secretary.
not for any other reason than it's just inconvenient otherwise.
I mean, and again, it's the setting.
Yeah.
It's okay, Kevin would pay good money to have a slime girl all over him.
Not Eric though, because
Eric
slime
would pay good money to
and-
have sugar all over him.
sugar, yes, because that's at least worth licking off. But the slime is just weird.
Maybe
Pour
the
some
slime
sugar
sugary.
on me.
It's like a salt lick, but for sugar. That's um
Pour some sugar on me.
no.
Oh, in
we're
the name of love.
and I'm actually not gonna have her. She's not a new. She is somebody who's there before. And you recognize her. You don't see her all that often though. And she's like Eric. She kind of calls you over.
Okay. If she's not new, I would probably know her name.
Yep. Let me get a name. Give me 1 second. Me looking up names is called padding. Her name is Varaza.
Veraza.
Varaza.
All right, so I'll walk up to her. It's like, Veraza, what can I do for you?
So like the boss wants to talk to you. He's been waiting for you to come back from the job that you, well, stole.
Stole is such a harsh word, but I'll go see the chief.
And she kind of, waves for you to go that way.
Yeah.
Kind of sorting a few papers. She seems to be wearing like some sort of plastic latex gloves so she can handle all the paperwork without getting anything like slimy or wet.
Right.
Surprisingly well prepared for the job.
Well, that's why she's here.
So you head up, and his office is on the top floor. So you got some stairs to take.
Do I have to roll a fortitude check to make sure I don't pass out from the sheer amount of stairs?
No, but maybe to see if you get there winded.
Roll a reflex save to make sure you don't fall down all these stairs.
I'll save that
Nope.
for the
Nobody warned him about all those stairs, bro.
Nobody warned you.
Sweet bro and hella Jeff before everything went to shit.
Okay. 15.
15, you're fine. You compose yourself. It gets a little hard as you get to the top, but you compose yourself. You're fine. And you knock on. Actually, I'm not gonna say what you do. What you get to the door.
Yeah, no, I would knock on the door and just call out. It's like, Chief, you wanted to see me?
He's like, come in here.
All right, I do so. Close the door behind me. 'Cause
His office is fairly nice, but not extravagant. It's definitely function over form.
Mm.
But it gives him a good view of the city streets below.
right. His
Um,
name.
His name. Let me get a name.
Disintegrate the door.
He is a Nephin. So he's a demon man.
Kevin, your boss is a demon.
Yeah, but he's a super lawful demon. Get that
I'm
money.
already a demon.
Getting a name for this guy. This stuff doesn't want to load. I hate that. His name is Citirio. Citirio.
Okay.
And he's middle aged. It definitely is put on a few pounds after being away from active duty. Wears glasses, kind of that retired cop feel you
Right.
get from him.
Rather ironically, Kevin has put on a few pounds from active duty.
He's like, all right, Eric, do you still have your badge that shows that you're a member of the guild and all that? I want to make sure you haven't lost it.
Yeah, I would show it.
Let me see it for a second.
Okay. Hands it over.
He's like,
Throw off the case.
great, excellent, you're fired.
So, you're still mad about this last case, huh?
It's like, well, before I put this away into the drawer, can you tell me that you've succeeded it?
Well, I'm back. We made it there, fought some orcs, and we made it back alive. It was not...
Yes, but did you get what Pasias needed?
Well, let's see. By contract, I
it's
really
not
can't...
my fault. It's not my fault you put the reputation of our guild on the line by taking a job that wasn't meant for you.
We got information. We did get information he was looking
Now-
for.
Just to kind of interject here, picture this guy's voice as Jonah Jameson.
No, absolutely. I already am. I already
Good,
am. It's-
excellent. He needs pictures.
Yeah. No, I don't have any pictures of Spider-Man, Chief.
Double fired.
Double fired.
Get fired again. I'm hiring you. You're fired.
But no, he asked for a lot of things, and we got him the information he was looking for.
He kind of pulls out the contract that you signed,
Mhm.
because the guild would get a copy of that.
Right.
And he's like, okay, discover the location of a missing researcher.
Yeah.
Discover the source of a strange magical signature.
Source. Yep.
Bring it back.
That was kind of hard.
You're fired.
F.
Rip job.
He's like, clean out your desk and go.
All right. All right. It was nice knowing you, Chief. Out the door. Not even gonna fight him. Nope.
Yep.
Who could fight with J. Jonah Jameson? No one.
Not Spider-Man.
I
We know
didn't.
that much.
I came back with some info on Spider-Man, maybe a lock of Spider-Man's hair, but no pictures. Out.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
can't print hair.
So I clean out my desk.
Yeah. So not only that, your office was your mentor's office.
Right.
So you can pretty much go through it and find anything that he had. You have the whole day to do so. It's up to you to take, however long as you want. If you want to go through everything, or if you're just thrown in a box, what's going on with that?
Well, first, quick question to the DM.
Yeah, it's not often I have to fire somebody. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. The lens.
Oh, your magic lens.
Right.
That is yours to keep. Because it did belong to your mentor.
Okay. I wasn't sure if he would be like, this was like, I wasn't
just-
sure if he would demand that back too, like, I want your gun and your badge kind of shit. Because they were issue of the guild, is why I questioned.
Yes. That's true. But he didn't ask for it, so unless if
That's
you're
why
gonna
I
honestly
asked
give
the
it up.
DM, not necessarily him.
Yeah. And it was kind of left to you by your mentor. So
No, that's fair. But he could have been a full J. Jonah and asked for it too.
yeah, he did not though.
Okay. So
He's not taking your starting loot.
no, that's fair. But yeah, I will.
How nice of him.
Yeah, how nice of him.
Yeah, he could have.
He yeah, by all rights, he legitimately could have. But no, so I will I'll go back to my office. I'm gonna gonna take it slow, sit down a bit, kind of reminisce, and then also start digging
I mean, you're
through
not
his.
getting paid for any of this, so
Yeah, no, and he's like, he never gave me a time limit, so I may figure if I'm out by the end of the day, he can't say
Yeah.
jack or shit. So no, I'm gonna take my time. I'm going to start rifling through some of the old files to try to match up with what I just learned from our trip and from Silsey before we left. See if we can find any solid leads before I have to dismantle my my board.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
What's my investigate? It is not as high as it could be. 14. I can't roll.
You know what? I shouldn't have asked you to roll, and I don't want to sound like I'm taking it back to give you a chance or anything like that. But you have all day.
So I get the flat
you
10
could-
or
can't take 20.
You
you
could
just
take
didn't find it
20.
right away.
Yeah, fair enough. But no, I would probably just be like, yeah. If I'm taking my time, I would just take
Taking
20.
20 always implies failure. So you
That's
take
true.
your time.
Yeah.
The fact
So-
that you failed doesn't mean anything.
So one of the things that you kind of notice as you're going through everything is a few notes regarding the case specifically, and you kind of start connecting some dots mentally in your head. Where Silsey was talking about where she was ambushed and the item was stolen from her, s- is outside an area of town. I don't want to say town, outside the area of the city. That there is one specifically a lot of nightlife, and two, is well known for a lot of gimmicky attractions, specifically an arcade.
Like an arcade?
Yeah, like an arcade.
Man, those
Like-
assholes have Pac-Man and everything.
Like, video games, but
Yeah.
for fantasy.
Excuse me, it is called Pack Dragon.
No, fair enough. Pack Dragon. Waka Waka Waka. That just even makes sense now. Those pellets.
Yeah.
Yeah, those pellets are treasure, and Dragon's Hoard treasure. You
Well,
you
no,
know
it's the
this.
food pellets the dragons have to eat. And
The
then
morbid version
instead of the fucking fruits, it's treasures.
The morbid version is an ooze person eating the nuclei of other oozes.
Whoa.
to
But
get
that's the
stronger.
black market version, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
the
so
edge.
Silsey case leads to the arcade.
Yes, you are looking through your papers, and you realize that one of his spots that he had kind of narrowed down some of the searching to is that same location.
Of course.
And this is where she was pulled and ambushed by these same people.
Okay, so I need to make a pit stop to the arcade before I leave again.
It just like the guy pretty much was, or your mentor was pretty much writing down areas that he believed might have a congregation of these people, and this is one of those locations.
Okay, but that probably takes me all day to piece together.
Absolutely.
So in the midst of packing, I will make that mental note, probably a jot in my journal, and proceed to. I could, but that'd be super dickish and probably end poorly. So no, I will proceed to just clear out and leave
Set
unprovocatively.
fire to the
Yeah, no,
building.
I'd be like, well, no, I would be like, I light a fire in the trash can and walk out. Give me a 30-minute head start. But no,
Is there any real reason why you wouldn't? Fuck
Um,
these guys.
I mean,
Respect
Other
for
than-
the profession.
respect for the profession, and I really don't want that kind of negativity on mine and my sisters' heads from the home, like from the actual guild planet.
Yeah, but they're the Illuminati. They're the reason why the world has gone to hell.
I have no proof of that yet. Otherwise, I would. But
So,
I
yeah.
mean, I might burn the arcade down.
So after you leave, it takes you most of the day to do that because again, you were taking 20 on that and cleaning up pretty slowly. Where do you go? I assume you live nearby.
Yeah, I would go to whatever house,
Okay.
home arrangements, kind of plot my box in
Cool.
once I get there.
Do you live alone or do you live with your sisters? Because I know you're the middle child and one's older, one's younger, right?
I would say the
Or-
younger one still lives with
Okay.
me.
Cool. She is currently out. It's pretty late in the day at this point. Like it's about to get dark.
Mm.
And she is not currently home. You know that she does work nights.
Yeah, that would be par for the course then. So yeah, I would set up in my quarters, whatever, whether they're a room or a cutoff, because we were poor as shit. I would set up in my little area, my web chart, set that back up, and basically turn my room into an office.
Cool. So you're gonna take care of that, and that is Eric's day.
Yeah,
A life
a life
a
in the day of
like
Eric. You're
Yeah,
fired.
wait.
Oh,
Oh,
Aw.
but I didn't die. That is one
Yeah, you're not
more
dead.
successful day.
you're only dead financially.
Yeah, I'm only dead financially, and especially knowing that we're probably
Now
not
you
getting
just
paid.
have to become a pirate to help take care of your sister.
Yeah. You gotta work them pirate jobs to take care of your sister.
Don't hate.
Sorry. Hi, Captain. I need a job.
Oh, before I forget, one last thing I would have done before I left the office. I was gonna look up Alicio's files. Anything on?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll another investigation check on that one, since
I'm
not
not
gonna
going to
say
be
you have-
spending all day on that.
yeah.
Roll it. You won't.
9. I
Nine.
find nothing.
You
Yeah,
rolled
you
one
don't
for
find
two,
anything.
nerd.
Oh shit. Reroll this shit.
Oh wow, it didn't take my.
Kevin, you shit.
Hey, I maxed out that die though.
At
Yeah, I
Max
was wondering why
Dice.
And didn't have a D20 symbol.
That was weird. But no, I just didn't take it. I guess I don't fucking know.
I do it all the time. I understand.
What the? I'm so good at this. I think I need a new keyboard.
You're about as good as Tanner.
Holy
Only
shit!
about, though.
I need to buy a new keyboard.
Does the 0 key not work?
No, it's just every other key just seems to not be working. Like I just had to edit this one like 5 times. I rolled a 3. Okay, so much better.
Amazing.
You find that he is wanted.
Is there? Well, obviously, but would there be like an open bounty or any?
Yes. 40k.
40K. Huh. Okay, I will note that.
His
and-
bounty is worth twice as much as killing Mark.
Yeah, I know. I got that. So
But
I'm
you don't
like,
know that.
Well, I don't know how. Well, did he tell us how? No, he didn't told us.
No,
No,
he
he
didn't.
didn't. Because if he did, Pat would have engaged him. Remember?
Right.
Well, no, because
no, Pat was saying he would.
killing Mark.
Yeah, he was
had
going to engage him
100K.
if he know and how he had the 100K
Oh.
on the side.
Yeah, he had 100k from kidnapping and ransoming Beira.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to take that note down. Get whatever information I can, which is not a lot. And then proceed with the rest of my day as previously
Yeah.
stated.
Cool. So let's see. Who wants to be up next? Mako or Vera?
Hmm.
You can do makeup.
You act like I have shit to do.
It'll be quick then.
How many whores do you buy, Mike?
Yeah.
On day one, probably jacking shit. Day one's the busy day.
Yeah. So in that case, there's really nothing going on for Mako right now.
Yeah, just normal ship port. Day one's when you have to report everything. Then you got to Then they want to know, are you importing anything? Technically, we import into Newark, but we will list that as non-listed. How many passengers? How many passengers disembark? You get where this is going.
Yeah, you're good at lying on that though, because you guys smuggle shit all the time.
As I said, but it's one of those. It takes your day, and you hate every minute of it.
Yeah, you see, you're at
It's a
minus
shitty
2
day.
crew members and only +1 orc and +1 kobold. Your numbers are even, my man.
Yeah, that's the best part about this is we actually left with the same thing. So no,
You have the same amount of people that you left with.
All right, cool. So in that case, it's going to be Vera. What is you come back from buying the outfit for Zemrock. You give her the disguise item to make her not look like an orc. Since what does she look like?
oh,
Or
side note,
what?
just and my other rest of my day would technically be with Pat because I'd represent the ship still.
Yeah, unless that the captain specifically went with. Either way, it would either be Mako or the captain that went.
Yeah, until we figure out what's happening.
So, The question is, what is Zimrock disguised as? What do you suggest she disguises as? Because you're the one kind of leading the charge on this.
That's a good question. What would fit her body type best?
No, she's not large size. Let's see
Yet.
here. The plant people, the plant girls, are pretty jacked. They're kind of Amazonian.
Yeah, but they're also
so that-
kind of not good.
Yeah, well, it's not that they're not good. It's just they're very they're a warlike culture, but they're very honorable with their war. And in recent times, they more use contest of strength to decide challenges and disputes
Death
compared
by
to just
snoo
open
snoo.
warring. Pretty much Keijo, that would be their national sport. Pretty much.
That's where I want to go next, by the way.
Aren't they also
Okay.
all male?
No, they're all female.
No, the female.
It was Amazonas was decided. Not
Yeah, but he
Conan.
was earlier. He was talking about them being like all looking
no.
women, but all being men.
Well, no, technically they're all hermaphroditic because they're plants.
Also, is there a problem with that?
Yes.
Like they're
Okay.
they're legitimate plants that are hermaphroditic because plants are that way.
I don't support a feminine penis, Mark.
I'm not
Wow.
saying you have to. I'm just asking.
I am a bigot.
All I'm saying is that she's already
too, thanks.
green, and she has the same body type.
And if she was to
Okay,
be like,
Well,
challenging
that
fit.
would work then, I guess. I mean, if that's what her body type fits, like I'd match it as close to her body type as possible while also being as I guess less war-ish towards everyone around her as possible. Like I don't want people to I don't want her to draw attention.
No, yeah, that'll be fine. The only things that really draw attention to her, well, is she's fully clothed for the most part because of the robe, the white robe. The parts of her skin that you can see is green as normal, but it's going to be having foliage and stuff added to it for the disguise check. And most of her face is disguised anyways because of the mask. If anything, the only thing that looks out of place is that her attire doesn't really fit the other species. But that's again not that big of a deal.
That kind of happens sometimes.
Yeah, like she does seem a little bit displeased with the whole thing. She doesn't really like hiding her identity, but also understands the necessity, and kind of falls in line as you lead her. Though, as you go to leave, if I remember correctly, you said that you were going to return the sword to her sister's sword.
Yes, I was going to,
Okay.
but I don't think it was ever given back to me.
Pat would have had it.
Pat hasn't like disenchanted it or anything.
Yeah,
So,
so I'm just
I mean,
gonna take it.
yeah, that's what he loses for not being here.
Pat's character wouldn't have any reason to deny that request anyways, except for the love of money.
Well,
Yeah.
for the love of money, it wasn't our loot pile.
Yeah. So, yeah, you return the sword back to her, which is the last thing she has of her sister, who was killed and then bitten in half and put into
I
an infinity
would
organic maze.
Probably ask to keep it in my bag until we got out of public, though.
to be honest, the universe is a better place.
Yeah,
You
fair
mean
enough.
You don't just want your Amazonas plant person to be holding a huge sword.
Yeah, it fits the disguise better if she has her weapon. All I'm saying.
I mean, sure, it's slightly more suspicious, but I think it's suspicious for the Amazonas to not have her weapon.
I'm gonna go with no for right now.
All right.
When you get jumped, it's going to be all your fault.
So yeah, she's you guys head to your guild then. That's where you said you were going?
Yeah.
And as I said before, she's quiet most of the time. She's not somebody who talks much. She walks with a stern gait. and you would eventually make it to the guild house, which I don't recall if you guys went to it before, if I described it.
I
If you
don't
want,
think
I
we
can.
did.
Cool. So the guild house seems to be made out of an old manor of sorts. It's definitely was once a more residential estate for a wealthy person. But it has been retrofitted into a more public space and guild hall. The gates have been replaced, or the opening gate has been replaced with people who kind of actually guard the area. Though it looks like while these guard stations were set up, no one is currently manning them. The lawn was once very well decorated, but has since fallen into disrepair. The grass is a little bit longer than it should be. The bushes are more untrimmed, things like that.
Yeah.
The actual building itself has an antique feel to it, as the paint and wood has lost its finish, but otherwise it looks like it is a very good building. And fairly large, too. It's probably about as big as like Mark's estate is, but that's a house compared to this being a guild hall at this point. I assume you just walk in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I've basically lived here most of my life, so I just kind of walk in with her in tow and head towards where I would assume the guild leader would be.
You walk in, the door is locked, but you have a key. And you go in, there is no secretary or greeter. Again, there's not that many people who actually stay here any longer. And you can hear the echoing sounds of machinery in the basement. You know that is probably the Tieran that stays there, Demiraba.
All right, well, I'm not really concerned with the basement currently. I assume the sounds are common to hear.
More or less. Usually means she's working on something or another. Sometimes it is followed by something going wrong, but she does engineering things.
That's fine. I would keep going, not really paying the noises any mind, like heading towards the office itself, where the guild leader is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's up on the second floor. It seems to be an old master bedroom that has been converted into an office. Do you just walk in? Do you knock?
I would knock. I am
All right.
polite.
You would hear the familiar voice of the elderly elf call out. He's like, "Come in."
I would walk in and I'd take her with me. I wouldn't want to at first, but I've got no one to look after her, so I mean, she kind of needs to be in my sights anyway.
As you come in, his eyes light up, both in recognition and knowing that you're safe. He's like, "Vera," and he gets up from his chair and he goes to give you a hug. And then the hooded, masked figure walks in behind you and he stops, being put off slightly. And he's like, "And your friend?"
Yeah. I would kind of walk forward and hug him because I did miss him. I actually brought her to talk to. Go ahead and take it off.
She
Begins disrobing.
She lowers the hood of the robes that she's wearing and removes the disguise self item, whatever slot that may be, that's yet to be determined. And the green stays green, but the foliage and plant matter that is coming off of her vanishes.
Melts away.
Yeah, melts away, and in comes her orcish features, her braided hair, the fact that she is very, very toned and not necessarily in the same way the plant people are. And at that point, the guildmaster kind of loses his shit, for lack of a better term. He jumps back like 5 feet, pulls out his hand
Calm
where you can
down.
tell he's about to cast a spell. And you yell, "Calm down!" and he keeps his hand outstretched, on the verge of casting, which causes Zimrock to feel threatened. And she kind of crouches into a defensive manner, and also starts her hands start glowing in black energy.
Both of you. Just basically both of you calm down.
Um, at the same time, the guildmaster, Ricardo, is that his name?
I don't remember.
Ricaro. Yeah, it was Ricaro. Um, he calls us like it's an orc. At the same time, Zimmer's like he was attacking me.
He didn't attack you, and no shit. You'd always mentioned that we didn't know enough about them. I found one, and she speaks common.
That doesn't mean you bring it back to our home.
She's okay.
I don't believe you. Zimmer's like that's rude.
That's racist.
Though not entirely unwarranted.
This is perfectly correct.
Not wrong, but racist.
Which exactly was she referring to being rude? Him
Um,
being like, shh, that's an orc.
it's like it's an orc. Don't bring it home.
She is an orc, and she is.
And it.
It's like, this is just like when you tried to bring home wild animals when you were a child.
Whoa.
She's not a wild animal,
Tell that to her victims.
and she does speak common. Are you really that afraid of her?
He pauses for a moment, and he's like, "Well, it is incredibly interesting that she can speak our language. Last time I saw an orc, they were slaughtering my comrades."
Well,
The man brings good points, Jess.
I suppose her sister was trying to kill us.
What happened to the sister? Someone's like, "She's dead now."
I just kind of gesture towards her. She gave the right answer.
It's like,
That's
and did you
ethically
have anything to
response.
do with that?
A little.
Eh.
Anything is such a loaded word.
Zimmerman speaking was just like, after my sister was killed, I was captured. I believe that you would say it as property.
We did take her after her sister went down.
He kind of walks back over to his desk and puts his hand on his face because he's really at a loss for words. What are we going to do with an orc? We can't let anyone know we have an orc.
Why not?
That's how you attract the elven sluts.
We
That's
already
true.
study unknown unknowns. Why can't we have an orc? She has a lot of unknown unknowns.
Because everyone is going to rightfully believe that it's dangerous and puts other people at risk. And you're letting her walk around unbound.
She can cast with her hands bound.
Yeah, but she can't swing a sword with her hands bound.
And the mask is creepy.
That's a part of her religion.
He's raising all these excellent points.
It's like, and the religion is probably creepy.
I don't know enough about it. That's why I brought her.
Yeah, but it's a known unknown. It's creepy.
They live out in the Reach.
This fascination of yours is going to get you killed.
My father's alive.
What?
She's gone crazy. The orcs have poisoned her mind.
Now I know that you've lost it.
I saw him. Or at least I'm pretty sure it was him.
But you didn't manage to bring him back?
He was on the other side of a portal that broke down.
I understand we need to talk about this, and it is very important, but I don't necessarily feel comfortable doing it in this position.
Do you really have nothing to ask her?
Not at such short notice, no.
I'll take her to a room then.
Barricade the door.
Why? She can teleport.
That isn't comforting.
Would you rather I barricade the door anyways? Would it matter if I barricaded the door? Would it offend you if I barricaded the door?
Barricading the door would be pointless. It's pretty much all
See?
she says. Just get her out of here.
She's not going to do anything. It
Go.
would be suicide.
Some religions condone that.
How else is she supposed to get her 40 virgins?
Alu
It's
Orc
true.
Bar.
I would go ahead and take her to a room, which would be nicer than where she had been tied up for no reason on the ship.
There was a very good reason, whether you
Oh.
acknowledge
No,
it
there
or
was
not.
absolutely no reason.
Are you going to take her to her room sexually, or
No.
As you kind of take her there, she's like, he is a survivor of many battles. You can see it in his eyes.
He is, yes.
in
Many
this
with
battle he just
orc
lost to two
themselves.
girls?
What was the second part you said? And you cut out a little.
many with orcs themselves.
If he has killed that many of my kind, then he should be treated with more respect.
I agree.
Orcs understand the purpose of strength. So yeah, you would leave Zimrock there, right?
Yeah, I'd leave her in her own room.
Yeah, go back, and I assume you would tell your Ricaro about everything, like everything that happened.
Yeah, I would update him on everything that happened.
Is there anything that you would leave out?
No.
He'd bring. So where's this girl then?
Your home planet?
You know, if anyone finds her, they're gonna want to keep her, right?
She's there with someone else that was on the team.
That's who we should be studying, not some orc.
Yeah, but I couldn't bring her here with the size looking for her.
And so you're gonna bring her here after fooling him, and if he finds out, he'll bring the entire wrath of his influence onto our guild.
Or maybe I can bring you to the homeworld?
And what would you do with the orc?
She couldn't be on the homeworld, could she?
No.
She really shouldn't be here.
She already shouldn't be here.
She's really not that bad, you know.
That's yet to be seen.
I mean, as long as you don't touch her mask anyway.
That's ominous.
Well, I mean, do you want people touching on your face?
He kind of puts his hands together with a concerned look.
Concern?
Does he look like a skeleton while he does so?
She has
No.
a lot of knowledge that I don't even know what to ask her yet. The orcs, they brave the Reach all the time. She might be able to find a way to get out there. Complete my father's research.
What are you more concerned with, finding your father or completing his research?
Why can't it be both?
Because they may not go in the same direction.
Well, I don't have to choose yet.
I'm glad to have you home. He kind of gives a sigh of relief as all the arguing has left him weary. And it would have
Oh.
taken you quite a long time to explain the whole story.
There is one other thing.
Oh god, what is it now?
My mom is probably going to be asking for me.
Why? You weren't even here. You were off in the middle of some death world. What could she possibly want from you? What could you possibly have done to piss her off?
I
Extortion?
was
Yeah.
ransomed by an Umbran?
Did you bring him home too?
No!
She would have if she could have.
She does owe him a date.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure I'm gonna say that.
How much did you take from her?
100K?
Oh my god. What I can do with 100K.
I know, right?
Who's this Umbran pirate? I feel like I need to go collect that money.
No.
He kidnapped you
Yeah.
and ransomed you for money. And if that's the case, how are you not with your mother right now?
Reasons.
Shrug.
Now the truth comes
She,
out.
yeah,
He
she's
kind
gonna
of-
say the word shrug.
He glares at you with a piercing gaze, giving a fatherly and disciplinary look. He wants answers.
Kevin's boss wants pictures. Jess's wants answers.
I could have given
It-
my boss answers.
Wasn't.
Too bad you are not in each other's guild. Because he'd be like, I need pictures. And he's like, I got the actual thing. Pull out a camera. And he's like, I want answers. You're like, here you go.
Yeah.
It wasn't a real ransom.
So you
ransom for 100K and she didn't even keep it.
so wait, you
I let him
scammed your
extort
mom.
my mother.
you extorted your mother for money with a fake ransom and you don't have any of it?
No.
She's so good at this.
You should
I didn't want
you
it.
go to your room.
I was saving someone's life.
Go to your no. I'm done. He's like, there has been too much. I am tired. I am done with this for tonight.
I'm not a kid.
Then why weren't you
I'm
at
going to
Gold
my
Mask?
room.
Checkmate.
I'm going to my room.
Mako, how much would you sell your life for? Like, how much would you say your life is worth?
Some hookers and blow.
What do you value a world at?
Which world?
Yeah, that's a very good question. But no, seriously, like, is 100K gold? Is that real? Is one life really worth so much?
In most cases, you're probably being way overpaid.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just a matter of fucking how much is Vera worth.
Well, no, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, to go out and extort herself for 100K just to save one guy.
Yeah.
I didn't extort myself.
You gave someone permission to extort you. That's basically the same thing.
So,
Well,
yeah, so-
to me, it wasn't just about saving Alvold. It was about saving Alvold, and it was about helping to save his sister. because he did also give me a sob story about his sister, and
Oh my god,
my
Alicia told you
character
the
is a
sister story.
Yeah, and
little
he-
bit like.
And you fell for
my
the best
sister
oldest trick of the
Serenity.
book.
um,
My sister Serenity, she needs this money for an operation or she'll be blind.
like I'm
Sister's
out
name
of
is Rivina.
character. I am out of character, completely aware of that. But in character, I felt bad. So.
By the way,
yeah.
his sister's name's Serenity now.
Excellent.
It wasn't before, but now it's Serenity.
You gotta help me.
That is
Actually-
not that's not Spanish enough.
Damn it! I gotta come a good. I have to come up with a good way that combines Serenity and Senorita that rolls off the tongue. Because
Senor...
Senority. No, it doesn't sound good.
Serenarita? No.
I don't think there's a way to do it.
No, you
Sounds
could literally just
possible.
run it Senorita, and we call her Serenity, but it's like some weird.
No, we can't have two characters in this campaign named after a girl. Okay.
But yeah, the point was like he told me about the hardships in his life, and I offered to allow him to extort my family for
All right.
money.
Note to self: when broke for cash, run sob story on rich girl. Make.
He didn't know I was a rich
millions.
girl, so I don't even know if he was lying or not.
He knows that you were in a van.
That's true.
You might have been rich, A,
Odds are
and maybe
rich.
he just
Odds
wanted to
maybe
have
like odds are rich, if not well off.
To be fair, when I said that she'd likely give about 100K, he kind of flipped out too.
Yeah, imagine if you told Pat all he had to do to get 100K was lie to your mother and kill a couple of guys. He'd
I
do
would
it.
do
and
it
not a little,
immediately.
a
A
lot.
lot.
A lot.
So yeah, I go to my room.
Yep. And that's what you do for the rest of the night.
No, I probably sneak out.
Oh, so where do
Rude.
you go?
I'm not
I
a
don't
child
know.
anymore. Proceeds to act exactly as a child would.
I still love the fact that you're worth 100K and they only sent, what, 3 guys?
Yeah.
It was all kind of immediate, like at this moment right
Listen,
now.
you have
whoever's
100K,
in
you
the
find
area.
as many people as you need. Trust me.
Yeah.
There's-
If you're dropping
Well,
100K out in one
it's a-
drop,
Well, to be fair, one, it was needed to be covered very under wraps. Two, Alicio probably in the ransom gave specific instructions, so that way he didn't feel threatened.
no cops, only 2-3 guys.
Yeah. And also they probably had a ship that's somewhere else on the moon that you guys just didn't see. Because they would have again not wanted to be too close. That had like a crew on it. That were waiting for these guys to come back. It's just you guys picked Vera up before they really investigated the scene.
I feel they would have investigated the scene.
Yeah, like
I'm not
we-
saying they didn't. It's just
Well, like
you know,
we weren't there like right after the drop off because they should have
you had to
gone
pick
in,
up
dropped
a
off,
couple
and
later.
picked up and left. That should have been like no more than an hour at most.
yeah,
We're poking holes in you.
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Fair
there
enough.
was no guy there. They had radio
Yeah.
contact, and no, that doesn't even make sense either. No, there was. They just the ship's there still.
Yeah.
Radio contact does make sense, but it's contradicted the complete lack of two-way communication at a distance up until this point. In
Well,
the
no,
campaign.
what I mean is
that
the
doesn't
two-
mean there hasn't been two-way conversation at a distance between plebeians, but between people that can drop 100K on
Well,
somebody.
I'm not even
maybe
saying that it
there-
doesn't exist. I'm saying
Dude.
that if there was radio contact, they would have come
Okay.
to investigate.
Here's okay. Let me explain two-way conversation at a distance in the setting. One, when you're in a city, they actually have magic items that are super cheap. They're at like 1/10 the price or something like that. That functions off effectively a magical energy grid that coats the city, and they only work in the city. This is how people have like air conditioning, lights, phones, or things like that. Two-way conversations at a distance. The problem is these things don't work when you leave the cities or the planets. So having two-way conversation at distance between worlds is very difficult. It requires like ascending level spell, which that's what they have mail systems and such for. Like there's actual guilds and companies and organizations that are like, yeah, we have an item of sending, and you give us your message and we will mail it to somewhere, and then a courier will deliver your message to the person. But that costs money because that's a business.
Yeah.
And then just pulling out like your cell phone equivalent to call up someone on another planet, it's not going to happen. Some ships may have their own like radio transmission that their crew can communicate with, which is probably what you would want to invest in. The reason the Novus doesn't really have a lot of this stuff is because it's specifically an antique ship, and they have put very little into it in terms of upgrading it to modern technology.
Intentionally underfunctioning.
Yes. The reason they do this is it makes it much lower maintenance. They go out and do things that is, one, dangerous, and it means that they can pretty much fully operate under just the ley lines. They don't need magical fuel sources or anything like that. It's one of the reasons the Novus has a name for itself.
Anyway, I probably would leave that night, probably not sneaking out, like he probably isn't actually confining me to my room because I am not a child. But I would go out to the bar or something.
All right,
Port
cool.
bar.
As you go to sneak out, go ahead and make a perception check.
I don't know if I updated this or not. Complete shit.
Oh, 15. Yeah, you don't really notice anything as you leave. So yeah, you go
You're
out and you go
apparently
drink.
the only one that can roll in the Roll20.
I mean, Mark was sucking it up. You're sucking it up. Kevin wasn't doing too bad.
No, Kevin was also
Oh
sucking
yeah,
it
he
up.
rolled a 7.
I'm usually hit and miss.
I roll well in Roll20 even when I'm not the GM too. When I
Yeah,
was in
you're
Pat's-
it.
Discovered Tanner's bias for Roll20.
I also
Roll
think.
style.
Well, I also think Jess is a little biased because when she has real dice, she's like nat 20, 19, 24.
Yeah, just
You're
roll
there
a
to look
natural
at my
21.
dice.
I'm not saying you're cheating. I don't believe you're cheating. I
No.
see your dice rolls. I'm just saying that your wicked luck doesn't transmit.
That's
to the
because
internet.
you have to find the perfect die for your character. You have to find the die that fits your character and roll it, and put your faith in the
Yeah,
die, like your
so-
faith in the card.
No, wait.
Tanner, you just
Re-
gotta live with it.
Remember when I did that for Chell? I didn't roll above 10 the entire campaign.
Rip Joe.
Literally, I think I only rolled above 10 once on a few knowledge checks.
Well, then maybe you chose the wrong die.
You chose poorly.
You have to really feel the die.
I'm really feeling it.
Gotta feel it.
So yeah, at this
Rolled a
point,
16 on the die that is meant for her.
well, I mean, eventually we may be able to move it to live sessions. I mean, I'd still use Roll20 for everything, but like I have a mic now that is an area mic, and that would work really well. The problem is Pat, because he lives in Orlando. But I mean, if he ends up not playing or something, that would work. So, other than that, I don't really have much else for you guys to happen because since Pat's not here, he would be doing his thing with Pisias.
The Mark merging back in with the group thing.
Yes, we could skip ahead to Mark coming back into the group. However, that would be after Pat gets back from talking to Pisias.
I'd still prefer doing that to not. Like, I don't want to just hold back because Pat's not fucking here.
Yeah, we can do the first part of it, I suppose. Him coming back and kind of describing what happened. So in that case, Alvold, you would arrive in port the following day, a little bit later in the evening actually, because that's about the same time you left compared to when they did. It was
Okay.
more, like a day and a half behind schedule.
Yep.
And the Sunny Dandelion would pull into port. he would be like, "I'll handle, my crew and I will handle the rest of the tariffs and the fees and the dock hands." And he just kind of waves his hand. He's like, "You, on the other hand, have some people to meet up with, and can you let Vera know I'll be looking for her?"
Do I
Actually,
know where the Academia Obscura is? I might just take him there. Easy.
you absolutely could find it. You don't know where it is off the top of your head, but you could find it.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He actually hands you a letter to deliver to her.
Oh, goody. I mean, I'm a good courier. I'm not saying there's people in the
Not like
current area
Tobias.
that are bad couriers like Tobias, but I'm a good courier.
That reminds me, I need a courier.
Don't use Tobias.
Tobias will forget about your letter.
No,
Like-
I use actual professionals. People I pay.
Tobias never claimed to be a courier.
Yeah, but
So, yeah.
he was a shit one.
But you know that Vera's probably at the guild, or at least
Has been there.
somebody there. Yeah, has been there, and somebody can tell you where to find her.
Indeed. Well, I guess I should get this letter out of the way first. I mean,
God
I'm
damn
still
it,
not
I just
feeling
told him
100%.
I didn't bring Bryn.
Surprise, he's black.
That was fast.
So yeah. So you would head there. Like I said, it'd be easy to kind of find its location. It's not too close to the ports. It's further into the wealthier parts of the city.
Hmm.
And you would make it to the guild, as I described earlier, with the kind of the large wooden double doors. And there's nobody outside preventing you from entry.
I will enter. I assume it is a guild hall, and therefore there is a reception area on the inside, anyways.
Well, as explained before, the door is actually locked. Vera had a
On the
key.
one hand, I could knock and attempt to deliver things.
There
on the other
is a
hand, I
doorbell.
could just post it.
Yeah, there is a doorbell of sorts that you can ring.
Yeah, I suppose I'll do so.
Cool. So you ring it, and a few moments later, you hear the sound of a female's voice kind of complain as she about grime and such as they kind of open the door covered in what seems to be like oil and soot. And it is a Tieran elf, one of the brown skinned.
Yeah,
What
it's
else?
Demerara. Uh-huh.
Yeah, you were in there the first time, so I'm going to pull her thing out here because I might as well throw her into waifus. There we go.
Make her name visible.
I did.
No.
I beg to differ.
It's not like Zemrock's.
There it goes.
Canettles is also not visible.
There, fixed. All good?
Yep.
And her eyes light up a bit as company has appeared, and she's like, "Oh, a guest!" And goes to grab your hand to pull you inside, forgetting for a moment that she is fairly filthy.
This is fine. I will definitely clean my hand later.
This
Alright.
is fine. Everything's fine.
And so she pulls you into the what used to be kind of a foyer area, and you realize the guild does not have a receptionist, nor does it have a reception area. This place
does have a
looks like an old
receptionist.
house.
She's just filthy.
No, okay. You can tell by the way she's dressed, as well as the belt of kind of tools around her waist, that she is some sort of craftsman or engineer.
Clearly, she is the source of their money, since it's clearly not going into the hall itself.
She's like, "What can I help you with today, Mr.
Yeah, I think I would have changed my name by now.
Absolutely.
I will
You would have
offer
a
my
week,
name is Solaire.
Mr. Solaire." And by the way, you would have a week to retrain one of your levels if you wanted to, because I think it takes a week per level, or something like that.
Okay, so I did have the week. All right.
Yeah. So if you wanted to, I mean, you don't really need it right now. There's not any combat going on or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's worth mentioning that you can train up one of your levels right now.
Yeah, I would have retrained the one. The one is all I intended to retrain in the first place.
Yeah.
I'll let the second level occur naturally.
Cool.
Just gonna throw out that on the day after we got back, since I am now fired, I would actually be going to Jess's guild to try to talk to the guild master.
He will also seek the Academia Obscura.
Yeah, because
That would
because-
have been earlier in the day, though.
Oh no,
Would
absolutely.
it?
I'm just throwing that out there. But
Okay.
I might see him on the way out. I don't know.
Yeah. In that case, I will get to you in a moment.
Yeah.
We will rewind and be like, "This is
Yeah, I had
Kevin
the
is
plans,
happy.
but
You
I
might be
wasn't
asking-
sure where Mark's thing was going, so I
Yep,
wasn't sure if it
that's
was
me.
relevant.
You may be asking how I got into this situation."
Freeze frame record scratch.
Yeah,
You are fired.
Rip.
that's how the campaign starts.
You're fired. Yep, that's me. You might be wondering how I got here.
You destroyed an entire galaxy. Freeze frame record scratch. Yep. That's me.
Picture of Broly.
So she asks you what you're doing here. She asks for your name, and she repeats it to kind of emphasize that she has it.
I mean, are we on Kevin right now, or is he the one we're coming back to?
I'm gonna at least I want to at least
Yeah.
finish the conversation. I don't want to interrupt it mid conversation with Demerara and you.
No, I think we should sincerely do Kevin first, because
Okay.
Yeah,
I might
don't,
have words for him if he's actually still
No.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
that's
don't mean
fine.
to
We'll backtrack.
interject. It's just I wasn't sure where we were going until it was too late.
No, that's fine.
She also probably would have been like 2 guests in one day.
Yeah.
No, true, fair enough. So, you would be able to find the location just as easily as Mark would. I assume you come to the door as well.
I would
and-
most likely find it locked. Yes.
Yeah, you're like, time to walk in this guild hall like normal. Oh wait, it's fucking locked.
Locked. I'm like, do I pick it? No, I'll knock.
Cool. So you knock, and at that point, Vera, are you actually here? It's in the morning, earlier in the morning.
What time?
Like noonish. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. You would definitely be able to get there before Demerara because again, she's in the basement working on something or other.
I would come to the door, open it, looking slightly confused.
And there he is.
Yeah.
It's Eric.
Eric.
Oh, Vera. Wasn't sure if I would catch you here. I was hoping to speak with the master of the guild, seeing if he might know a little bit more about some of our discoveries.
He, yeah, sure. I assume he's also addressing the orc, which is why I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know when the door was knocked, it was effectively interrupting you and the orc and him in a conversation, and you left, leaving the two of them alone.
Excellent.
We kind of need to hurry, though.
That's fine.
And
Um,
I would rush
Yeah,
back.
you go back up to his study, you enter, and they're just in a deathly awkward silence.
No talking at all.
Probably
Oh,
That's
love
me to
glares.
them.
Zemrog is just like, well, he didn't say anything.
I can't
gesture
say
at
I
him.
blame him.
It's like, oh, another guest. Oh, he's forcing a smile.
Guests.
Not an
Happy
orc.
face.
Admittedly, not an orc.
It's definitely better company. Let me go speak to him while you entertain your friend. And he leaves the study to deal with Eric.
All right. So,
Move that ship back.
No, there's a reason. I'm organizing things a little bit.
names are getting all over the place.
Yeah, I know it's bad right now. The nameplates are causing problems. So the way I'm going to set this up is waifus on the ship are going to be on the line with the ship.
Fair enough.
and then waifu's not on the ship will be on the next line.
Oh,
Isn't Celsi on the ship?
yeah. Wouldn't Silsey be on the ship, or did she decide to leave and come
Like
back?
she's being hired. Wasn't she like hired on because she was a stowaway or some shit?
She was working for her keep.
So I
But
assume she left when we got back.
yeah,
Okay.
at least for now, you know.
Well, yeah. She has left the main party view, but not necessarily the campaign.
She's not effectively if it's on the ship or something. You can easily just be. I go to the ship and talk to this person.
Right.
I got to keep these honey bundles.
I don't know why.
They're important.
They
And
are.
we
Just
could have
honey
had a
bundles.
big one.
Look, they are the most important. The only
They're not.
regret I have from that entire ordeal is not getting more of them.
Like it's one of the just statistics that you guys have to mark achievements in the campaign.
The
First
most
one's honey
important one.
bundles.
But we didn't get them all, so we didn't get the achievement. We have to now play the whole game over again just to get that achievement.
Hey, Alicio's not a villain anymore.
That's
Right now.
That remains to be seen.
Why it says Bando's a longer word than waifus? It's throwing off my organization.
Yeah.
You could just move the waifu like ship and shit out further.
Yeah, but fuck you.
Making too
You.
much logic.
There we go.
Boom.
So yeah, so the guildmaster closes the door behind him, and he's like, "Let's find somewhere more comfortable to sit." It takes you back down the first floor to like effectively a meeting room that looks like has a table to serve tea and things like that. It's not a full blown dining room, but a place where people can talk and have conversation. And he's like, "My name, Guildmaster Ricaro, at your service." To explain what he looks like, I kind of brushed over it a little bit before because I knew Jess already knew. He is an Estrellan, but he is old. This is a man who looks old and is an elf, which means that he's pretty ancient. He is at least a couple centuries old, if not more.
Okay. So he's seen some shit.
Yeah, he has seen some shit. He is not necessarily as frail as you would think for someone of his age. He seems to have, kept in some amount of shape. But definitely, you can tell he is no longer in his prime. He's
Okay.
not, a decrepit old 90-year-old man, but he looks like, late 50s, 60s, around that time.
Okay. All right. So I
It's
will.
just that elves stay, pretty in their 20s for super long time.
Yeah, they like hit 20, stay there for a couple hundred years, and then finally start moving on.
Yeah.
All right, so I will offer my hand in greeting and be like, "Thank you for your warm welcome." I will pull up a seat, and I have just a few questions I would like to ask you about some recent discoveries I've had.
Absolutely. I believe that you were on the same ship contracted with Vera. She mentioned you in the story.
Yes, I was, and I was with Vera when we made some fairly decent discoveries, the orc notwithstanding. In the search for Malachi, was it?
Yes.
We came upon the ship wreckage and found a very interesting trinket. And I will pull out the coin that was found on the ship. And I will hand it over to him.
He looks at it, and he's going to roll a knowledge check here. And let me see. I haven't statted him out, but I know what class he is and what level he is. And he's really good at knowledges.
You didn't stat him out, so we can't kill him. Very clever.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to give him a plus 20. 31.
Okay.
Between his intelligence, his class skill, and stuff.
Yeah.
So, He looks at it, and his face kind of sullens out a little bit. Obviously, him being worried about your find. And he hands it back to you. And he's like, I suggest that you don't pursue this too much further. Um, most people who carry this coin or search for those who do don't or disappear after some amount of time.
Oh, yes, I am quite aware, as per the case of my parents and my mentor. But I am not dissuaded so easily.
He kind of sighs due to the sob story that's very similar to Vera in the sense of, looking for the parent and such. And it's like it seems like children these days always have a sad history to match their parents, or to go along with their parents.
As a detective, I've definitely seen my fair share of children in the slums. That's why I cannot let these kind of things go. Though I want to pull your attention and flip the coin to the engraving on the back, which was the number 25020.
Yeah. He's looking at it and he's just like,
Does that have any meaning to you?
not to me, but to the people who carry the coins, they do. You see, my knowledge of this group is fleeting, and even with his 30, he knows very little about this group. They're a group that exists in the shadows. They control many nobles, institutes, and other guilds, typically from behind the scenes. Some refer to them or know them as a secret society. Others merely as a group of egotistical pranksters with a inflated self-importance that doesn't actually mean anything. However, everyone that does know about them can agree they are dangerous. This number on the back is an ID of sorts. They don't have names. They don't refer to each other by names, nor do they have faces. This number is their being, everything about them.
All right. So basically, what you're telling me is I've found someone's
He's got a cult ID.
identification coin.
Effectively, yes. Within their own, they would. I assume they use it to know who's who within a context of their own organization. Even they don't know who their own members are.
Okay, that's a new lead for me, at least. Now, can you kindly explain to me why this coin was found on a ship out in the middle of the Reach on this research expedition that you and a handful of other guilds were partaking in?
Just to correct you out of character, is that the planet wasn't actually out in the Reach. It was just a dangerous area of space. The Reach, when there are no more stars. It's the blackness at the edge of space.
Okay, fair enough.
Just to correct you there. He's like, that I wouldn't know. The problem is almost anyone can be connected for any reason. A beggar on the street or the mightiest aristocrat. To them, they're all equal. Whoever you found it on may have been a member. I assume they're dead now?
Very much so. So much that this was the only discernible piece of information I could glean from their body.
He's like, well, that would be unfortunate because that would be who you need to talk to. I myself don't find myself in the company of cultists too often. And he kind of glances his eyes upstairs.
I kind of follow his gaze and just nod a little bit. It's like, I did not mean to imply that. I simply seeked upon your wisdom, considering you might at least know potentially a guild who might be connected. Or at least someone who was. Again, this was, 50 years ago?
50 years ago for...
Or whenever the original mission took place.
Yeah, it would have been 50 years ago.
So even if it was maybe even someone in this guild who's no longer a member.
To give you a hint, perhaps you could look up information regarding the ship he was on. Maybe you can determine who he was from that.
Which was
You know, it was Malachi's ship.
right, Malachi's ship, but it.
Well, it was Malachi
The
was
Lady's
on the
Ending?
ship, but oh yeah, the Lady's Ending was the name of the ship.
All right. I will do so.
That sounds like Malachi's ship.
Yeah, the lady's ending. That sounds like it. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right. Well,
If it was Malachi's ship, it would be called Ship.
no, that's fair. It would have been called ship. God damn it. That was all of my questions. Again, thank you for your hospitality, Ricaro. Yeah.
Ricaro.
I'm words.
Yeah.
Thank you for your hospitality, and I kind of glance up. If you need help with the orc, just let me know.
Absolutely. If I need someone to remove a problem, you'll be on my list.
Remove orc, remove orc. Your
Remove
worst
orc.
race.
Hashtag delete orc.
Hashtag ban
Delete
orcs.
this one. Hashtag build the wall.
Build the wall.
10 feet higher?
10 feet high.
Was there anything else you need to ask from him, or do you take your leave at that?
I would ask if he has any openings for a
I
detective.
also find myself unemployed, eh?
Yeah, I also find myself unemployed. You wouldn't happen to have need of a private eye.
He kind of looks around and he's like, unfortunately, I find the guild is on hard times lately. This job that Vera's working on is our first in a long while. It's like we're down to only a few members, which is why the place is so, well, out of touch.
Only
However,
the dwarf. We're here.
However, I do know Vera is very determined to find her father. Perhaps she would be willing to pay for your services.
Is Vera willing to pay for his sugar addiction?
Look, I will tone down the sugar addiction. I'm fired now. Because if we don't get paid, by this dragon, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Which will
Effectively,
probably not.
he apparently he doesn't know how necessarily good you are at your job. He knows that you worked with Vera. Maybe Vera would be willing to, pay for an aid effectively. And he knows Vera has money, but he doesn't really have it in the guild.
I think I'm worth about
hire you.
100,000.
I hear that's the going rate for.
I hear that's the
people.
going
I
rate for
don't think
friendship
you
with
are.
Vera. Rude. Talk to a guy, 10 minutes, 100K.
I talked to him for way longer than 10 minutes.
Regardless, I could take him. No. All right. Well.
I mean, imagine the story from Alessio's perspective as a green text story. He's all just be me, befriend dragon, ransom her for 100,000, then pretend to kill the guy and get 20,000 more,
And secure a date in the meantime.
and get date. Yes, there's no losing
within a
there.
within a 48-hour period, and
Yeah,
then
no,
done.
his green
say.
text story is pretty legit for him. Like, he's having a good time right now.
Yeah.
You know what they say? If you can't do it in 24 hours, why do it all?
Yeah. Yeah. That happens.
Yeah. So yeah, just keep me in mind, and I will talk with Vera when I see her next. She seems fairly busy with an orc at the moment. You both
Like
do.
sexually, or
Maybe.
Sigh heavily.
Which in this case we will fast forward to when Mark arrives.
Yeah.
So, Mark,
Yep.
we go back to you talking with Demi Brava.
Yeah.
So where were we? You introduced yourself, and she asked you what you needed.
I am here to simply deliver a letter to Vera. Is she in?
Would she have stayed around till later in the evening?
What time?
Evening.
Like,
Dinner time.
yeah, around dinner time I'd probably still be there.
It's like
Not for much longer, though.
Yes, I believe she was getting ready to leave soon, but I believe you were in time to catch her. Do you want me to take you to her room?
No, it's quite all right. I mean, if you're willing to offer her this letter, that'd be enough. If not, I'm more than happy to hand it in person.
No, absolutely. I'll take care of it for you. She just hands. Oh, I'm sorry, and she kind of like wipes her hand down on like kind of an apron of sorts, and it's like, here we go.
All right.
Yeah.
We got problem solved.
Yeah, and she would then take the letter up to Vera, knock on the door.
I would open it.
She's like, "Hey, a cute elf gave you this."
How many cute elves do you
Um,
know, Jess?
Eyes narrow slightly.
Blonde.
Blonde or white?
Blonde. Mr. Solaire.
I don't know an elf by that name.
Oh well, he gave you this letter.
Open letter.
The letter is absolutely from Elisio, being
Two
like,
hundred percent Alicia.
yeah, pretty much being like, "Hey baby, you want some fuck?" No, that's not what it said. Pretty much, he's like, "Hey, I found myself in the neighborhood much earlier than expected. I brought your friend Alvold back from the Australian homeworld.
From the dead.
Yeah, back from the dead.
He was definitely dead when I found him.
And I was wondering if you wanted to get dinner.
That date.
My
Remember
ship's
the-
in port. You know where to. I'm sure you can find it, or a courier will."
I'm far more concerned with the idea that Alvold is on this planet, because that means Canettle is on this planet, and that's what we were trying to avoid.
Yeah, but hopefully Pat's fixed everything.
Yeah, that
That's
should
the
have gone
problem
down
with skipping
already.
ahead. We don't know if Pat fixed everything.
Things could either be
Is-
amazing right now or absolutely horrible right now.
Is Ricardo still here?
Oh, yes, he is still here.
I would go off to find him.
Yeah, you would. He doesn't leave that often. He doesn't have much of a social life.
Based fucking neat elf.
There's a bit of a problem.
What now?
The girl is here.
Problem? What problem? He wanted to talk to the girl. That's great news. Except for the whole problem with it.
Yeah,
I mean.
at this point, we really do need to know if Pat's plan is a success to find out if that's a problem or not.
I would
because-
still consider it a problem.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, things have gone off course. That's, by every definition of the term, a problem.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
only question is how much of a problem
As
is
a
it?
problem.
Then we need to go fetch her.
Look down at letter.
You really think I'm so
Where would
dumb?
you have left Alvold, or where would you left Alvold? Where would you have left Canettle and Tobias? I mean, I suppose Tobias would be like, "I'm gonna go back to the Novus," and I guess would have taken Canettle with him. Can't think of anything else.
Yeah,
really.
I
Unless
wouldn't
someone tried to stop him.
exactly want to be dragging the Canettle around town. So I would have had them return to the Nilvis. Unless there was specifically a concern that would have her coming with me be a better idea.
Not that I can think of.
Then yeah, I would have had the two of them go to the Nilvis. No reason to have them not.
So yeah, in that case, everyone would kind of meet back up on the Nilvis at some point. I assume that's where you go back to after delivering the letter,
Yeah,
or do you go somewhere else?
I mean, even though it's been a week, I assume my wounds are not completely healed. So I would probably go back for a little more bed rest.
If you did nothing but bed rest the entire time, you would be back to full 2 wounds a day.
You really think I did that? You really think I didn't give Alicio shit at least a few days out of the time?
You're right.
So, half.
I'm not saying I ain't close. I'm just saying Alicia would have definitely gotten some shit from me, so I wouldn't have been
Why
on
though? He's
full
giving
bed
you a
rest.
ride.
Yeah, but
How much is
he's
this ride
also
costing you, Adam?
an extortionist. Don't
Jess,
worry
have you
about
seen
it.
the color of his skin?
It's only costing him 500 gold.
It's actually not too bad. At least it didn't cost you 100 grand.
And also, I got some special package delivery included in that price, so it was a good deal
Yeah,
overall.
he had a different sort of kind of illegal package to drop off that Alicia.
I may or may not have shipped an assassin to whatever the farthest planet at the time was.
I love it.
Okay.
That's what happens when you miss my solo sessions, Kevin. You miss all the fun.
Apparently.
Like, he was like,
Getting
"Hey, Alicio,
assassinated.
can you ship a body to anywhere but here?"
Alicia, are you for hire? Yes. Do you know what the ship that's going the furthest away is? I can find out. I have a package to deliver. It's this guy. He's unconscious.
I want him not here.
Well, if
Tie
I
that
left him
dude
on
up.
Homeworld, he would definitely tell my father that I'm still alive, and that's not what I need right now, because now my father is the murderer.
Yeah, also, it turns out the father's the one who put the hit out on him.
So I need my father to still think I'm dead. And the best way to do that, because he clearly intimated during his conversation that not even father knew if I was still alive, which means the assassin is the only one who really knows right now. Which means the best way to delay everything is to put him on a ship going as far away as possible. So that by the time he wakes up and
Alicio
comes at me.
still believes
Actually,
that you
the
just killed
best
him.
way would have been to just kill him.
Well, yes, but I am good aligned. I mean, I would have hired Alicio, but I didn't want to just have murder occur in front of the Conettle.
To be honest, the guy might have still died on the way because he didn't actually get healed. You stabilized him, but I mean, at that point, he's recovering without help, which is pretty hard and requires Constitution checks.
Yeah,
And he was
he's in a
pretty far in
box.
the negative.
There's a non-zero chance he died, but that's not my concern right now.
At that point, Mark doesn't feel responsible.
You
Yeah,
did your
I
part.
saved-
You
I saved
stabilized
him.
him. Everything else
Yeah.
is his fault.
I prevented him from bleeding out and dying there.
It does mean
That's good.
that eventually somebody's going to open that body or open that box when it starts to smell.
Yeah, but by that point, nothing will be connected back to us. In fact, it will definitely not be connected back to me because Alvold
no.
is dead.
Just to say, if it comes back for your father, who, assuming the assassin is dead after a certain point, the only people he could blame for it are Conettle and Tobias.
I'm not even sure he actually got their names. So I mean, I was already in the basement. They might have told him like fools, but honestly, he got the draconic word for girl, and Tobias.
No, I'm not saying that it would be easy, but theoretically, he could try to follow a trail.
Why
If
the
he cares.
octopus, Mike?
Yeah, I don't think it's an ideal trail to follow, considering half of the information is the
Those
draconic word
pictures
for
are awesome,
girl.
Jess.
For once, Malachi has come in useful. His generic names have given a trail much colder than it could be.
He knew what he was doing.
Calculated all along.
Yeah. But like I said before, at this point, I don't really have much else to go on of.
Yeah, we kind
so
of need to know if Pat is successful.
And regardless, I'll come up with a backup plan in case things fall through next time, which I don't think they will, but now I need to prepare for that eventuality.
I mean, Pat's words sounded correct, and mine sounded correct too, up until you decided it was my father who was hiring assassins.
No, absolutely. You're like, you gave me this plan. I'm like, this plan is so brilliant. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, now I need to change plans to fuck Mark. I mean,
no.
No,
it
that
I'm
was-
was the
kidding,
plan
I'm
all
kidding.
along.
It's too late. It was always
no,
assassins.
Jess started like in between sessions. Jess was trying to guess who the assassin was.
I was just like, I'm not going to be involved in this at all. It's going to be his solo session, but like, I want to throw out a guess right now as to what is going on, and I want to confirm if I am or am not correct. And I was like, did his father hire the assassin to kill him? And he was like, yes. And I'm like,
And that
yes.
was before Mark's plan. So yeah, that happened. So
My plan might have even worked if Tobias was good at his job of currying.
but yeah, not a whole lot happens this session, but it was a lot of picking up after you guys come back.
See, now what needs to happen is Pat needs to super succeed, convince the dragon that we actually aced this test, and I get reinstated.
Or you just work for the dragon.
Well, yeah, but I mean, also having a presence and having access to the guild doesn't hurt.
Or you just get angry and you join the drow crew and become a pirate.
Or you join a crazy number cult.
I could just take two.
You have
You
an
have a
idea.
coin.
250
You legitimately,
zeros.
yeah.
I could just become the next 25020. Yeah, I gotta memorize that now.
I
No, you
actually
won't
thought
become
he
the
gave
next.
that coin
You
back to
always
me, but
were.
I mean, that's fine.
No, he has 2 coins, I believe, right?
I
Yeah.
think he gave one of them back to me, so
Why
I
on
had
God's
I had
earth would I ever give that back?
because I had asked for it back and you said
You
gave
said
it
you
back.
already had one.
You
I
said
mean,
you already
that's
had
fair,
one.
but
and you
alright,
gave one
then I
back
would have
to
had
me.
the note, though.
Kevin didn't explicitly know the exact meaning of the numbers at that time.
Right.
It's very different now.
Yeah.
So I
you
might
have the
ask for that specific coin back. I'll even trade you, I don't care.
You have the coin that was left in your mentor's desk, which did not have a number on it.
Right.
And then you had the coin that she gave or has, it still has, that had the numbers on it.
Alright. But again, I'd have the notes of it, and for the sake of imaging,
Yeah.
how about an etching? Like, just
Yeah.
etch it on the back on a page.
Even then, you could have explained, I found a different coin that had numbers on the back, and
Yeah.
you would have gotten the same answer. So yeah. But yeah, that's going to be all for this session.
Alright. Cut.
Cut.